We've already seen the RTX 2080 Ti. It's a beast of a GPU with a price that's fit for kings. But what if we up the ante even more and strap on a third-party cooler to the most powerful gaming GPU on the planet? Enter the Gaming X Trio. It's clear from the off that this thing is absolutely huge, weighing in at over 1.5 kilos and having a length of 327 millimeters. This, along with a 3 slots worth of physical height, means that case compatibility will be severely limited. It does fit in the H500M without any issue at all, but a smaller case like Corsair's 280X was, well, no bueno. The advantage of all this heft is that you get a much better cooling solution for keeping the card fast and quiet. Nvidia's Founders Edition is much improved this time around, but make no mistake, the 3 fans on the Trio do a much better job at thermals, yielding a max temperature of 71 degrees versus 80 on the Nvidia card, and this is while maintaining lower noise levels at that lower temperature. Having said this though, it's not exactly the most elegantly designed card out there, and I think it's something that a lot of people will either love or hate. I actually put a picture of this up on Instagram, and you can follow me, it's at PCcentric, and a lot of people had quite a few comments to say about it one way or the other. So let me know your thoughts down in that comment section below. The main internal differences between this and the Founders Edition are actually with the clock speeds though, as the Trio comes overclocked just that little bit more out of the box. Both cards see a base clock of 1350 MHz, but the Nvidia card will boost up to 1635, whereas the Trio will boost all the way up to 1755. And this is before we even talk about further overclocking, as the potential of this card should go way beyond this. And if you're willing to tweak it in Afterburner, getting close to 2000 MHz shouldn't really be out of the question. But let's not waste any more time. I know you're here for performance numbers, so let's do this. I was a little unsure at first just how much better this card would be, and the simple answer is a little bit. In 4K we do see some solid gains in both Battlefield and PUBG, with them proving noticeably better. But as we look at the more consistent fixed benchmarks of Tomb Raider and Shadow of War, the gains start to close to next to nothing. Lower resolutions do widen the gap a bit, but generally speaking, anyone buying this card to see huge boosts to their frame rates really will want to overclock it that little bit further to actually achieve this. Of course, this doesn't take anything away from the 2080 Ti GPU though, as it's still insanely fast and it plays games like nobody's business. And you can fire up any game at any resolution and settings, and you're going to give it a real run for its money. With this level of graphics card though, you really will need to up your game in terms of RAM and processor, as I actually saw a big decline when I started my tests, as I forgot to turn on XMP in the settings, and as a result, we actually saw lower numbers in 1440p and 1080p, so make sure that you do have that balanced system to avoid any potential bottlenecks. The RTX 2080 Ti then. It's still a fantastic card, and as we expected, the MSI version is a little bit better. It really is a tough one to say whether you should go for this over the Founders Edition, as it's almost 10% more expensive, and you won't get 10% more performance without overclocking. Therefore, if you're running a well-ventilated system, and you know you're never going to overclock the graphics card, then I'd probably suggest picking up the Founders Edition, as while it's not quite as quiet, it runs with very similar performance. But if you do want the absolute best, you're happy to have something that looks that little bit more garish with all that bright RGB, and you're happy to tweak it and overclock it to get even more performance out of it, then I think you're going to be very happy with the Gaming X Trio, and it does come recommended. But at this price point, where we're looking at absolutely silly prices, you probably knew that already. I'll leave my Amazon links down in the description below if you do want to check out current pricing, but I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on the design. Is this something that looks good to you, and would you go for this over the Founders Edition? Let me know down in that comment section below. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed it, get subscribed for more videos, and let me know what you want to see next. Do you want to see the review of the Strix card, or maybe we should look at something from Gigabyte or Zotac? Always interested to hear your thoughts, but thank you so much for checking out this video. As always, I'll see you in the next one.